Alrighty, I guess it's that time again. Hello, everybody. Hold on a second. I gotta get something to drink. I don't have my drink. Oh no, it's in the other room. Well, screw it. Let's get painting. Who needs hydration? Who needs it? I don't understand. Hey everybody, Steve here. Welcome to The Buried Life. And what we're doing now is we're going to dig up our YouTube page, because what I got is my little tablet here, and what I want to end up doing is checking out, and we're going to see the live feed of this. Hopefully this will work. I've been having some, it comes up. Yes, good. Good. So what we'll end up doing is we will put our tablet right there. And so what we can end up doing is checking out the video feed. So that way we get a little bit of some feedback. Now, the interesting thing, as I'm filming this, what will end up happening is there's like a minute or two delay. And so what you see and then what I see, mine will be slower than yours. Anyway, so as I pick this up, this is the miniature that we're going to be painting. Now, I can't remember, for God's, all that is holy, I can't remember where I got this from. So what we ended up doing with this guy is we printed him out. This is a resin printed, and the dude looks pretty cool. And I think what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to paint this guy up using the Army Painter Speed Paint Mega Set 2.0. Let me see. So about right there. See, I'm trying to get height X, Y, and Z axis for this. So I'm trying to find out what would look good. And since it's like a minute behind, I wish I had like a laser pointer on my camera here so I could end up. I think that's about it right there. So I think, anyway, we'll just kind of make sure that we get this into play. And if we bring this down about right here, I think that should be good for painting. Yeah, we can get a pretty clear picture on this. Move it over that way a little bit. So we're going to be right here. And then we lift it up about here. I think we'll be good. Okay. Whew. Now that the hard stuff is out of the way, what we're going to end up doing, like I said, we're going to be doing our Speed Painting 2.0 on this figure. So let us begin. And we've got a couple of brushes we can deal with. This one's a little rough because the bristles are, when I was learning, I didn't learn how to take care of brushes, and I let paint get in the ferrule, and so that one's like all jacked up. But with that, and I don't have any paper towels either. I am so not into it today, but who cares? So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to start off painting this guy and try to figure out a color scheme. Now, this is a wood elf dude with a couple of swords, so obviously the swords are going to be metallic, and then looks like we're going to do some flesh tone on his arms. So normally flesh tone is like, I'm horrible at that stuff. His scarf is going to be, I'm not sure. We can try to do like blackish hair. And then these areas right up here, let's kind of make that a gold. So we'll do some gold trim, and we'll do some gold armbands on him. And then on the knees, we'll do some gold, and then we'll do some brown on here on his boots. And then, of course, we got some chains and some other stuff going on. So I think we got a general idea of what we want to do. We're going to start off with, but we got chains, but we got, I guess we could do the, if we start at the top, we can start off with the gold, and then we'll have to come back and do the chains, which won't be too bad. But if we do the gold, we can go around his head, and then we do the black to get his hair, and then tiny bits on his face. decisions. Or we do his hair first. Let's do gold. Let's just run with it. I guess there's no real, I'm not sure. I'm not a professional painter. The thing I like about this stuff is that it's well mixed together. And I'm not a professional painter, but this guy turned out pretty damn good, our cave troll. So yeah, pretty proud of him. These are using regular paints, and that turned out really good. But the speed paints, we did a little one before, and boy did it come out good. So let's just go ahead and we'll dip into the gold here. We'll get into the gold. Just do a tiny bit of water on there. And boom. And so I guess what we'll end up doing is we'll just start here. And we'll kind of do this thing that's on his, kind of this little head thing, armor side piece thing that we got going on, and we will do that in gold. So it's kind of like the shoulder piece. That's what it looks like. Now what I like about these speed paints is that it doesn't take much to paint, and they really go into the crevices nice. And that looks like it kind of goes around, like a little bit goes into his, and I'm trying not to shake. Just come across the front there, see if we can do a little bit of that. We'll come across this here. Try not to shake and not mistake his ears for gold. Again, it's the attention to detail. It's the little things in life. I don't know, big things in life are pretty important. But the little things, especially when you're painting miniatures, can make a big difference. So we're just gonna go for it. And we can see that that came out pretty good. And again, the smaller brush you have, the smaller the brush, the quicker it will dry. So we kind of got that, and we'll do a little bit of gold on the back end too. Kind of give it a little bit of continuity. And then we'll come back for the chains. So we'll kind of give him this gold. It's almost like he's got a backpack on. And then we'll come back and we'll hit the chains on that thing with silver. So it looks like he's got kind of an exhaust thing going. And like I said, again, we'll come back and we'll do the little silver. Trying to make sure you all can see this and how well this works. I think this gold will turn out pretty good. I'll just get a little bit more on the brush. Just kind of get that little area there so that we can do his backpack type of thing that we got going on. Paladin, Ferrithus, more miniature painting. Yes. I was bored because I didn't have anything to do, which is so not true. But yeah, I'll do this, and then, like I said, we'll come back and we'll hit the chains on this. So basically, this is kind of like a breastplate. I'll just kind of do the underside here, We'll see how that goes. Again, more miniature painting. Ferrithus is back. Ferrithus says, I've assembled the first prototype of my new project in the past couple hours. Looks good so far. Started printing out the rest of it. That'll be good to take a look at. Doing some type of quantum physics floating crystal thing is what he's doing. So I'm kind of interested. That caught my attention. I was like, okay. And then down below the gold, we'll do something a little bit different, a different color. I'll just try to get around his waist here. Just fill in that with some color. We can always go in, touch everything else up with the silver or whatever we get there. So, I don't know, how's that all look? Not too bad. I'm trying to see, maybe it's right here? I think it's right here. So that'll work. We'll see what happens. And now we're going to go ahead and we'll do the knee pads. What we'll do is arms. These little forearm stuff. I think those would look good. And gold as well. Ferrithus says, I put on a pedestal to hide the cable coming out of the bottom, but I'll decide on how I have the whole thing in my hands. Floating crystals and all kinds of strange stuff going on. The other one. Like I said, some of this flows just really fast into recessed areas. We got that, and then we can go and we can do the knee pad thing, I think. This is going to have some detail in it. That is for sure. We can see how we got a little bit of detail in there, and how with the zenithal, with the white that came down, we shot it down at this angle, and then through here, because it's standing like this, the light's coming down here, so we didn't really get a lot here, so we'll just kind of see that transition of the gold going from gold and shiny into where it's dark. So I think that'll look pretty cool. At least I hope it'll look pretty cool. I need to get a fan going. Hold on. So if you hear a fan going, that's just me. It's just my fan. We got the come hither. We've got the little robot air conditioner, the robot vacuum cleaner thing going around the house. So while I'm doing this video, I gotta close the door so it doesn't come in and make a bunch of noise, run into my feet and piss me off. Because that has been known to happen. It's funny because I ran into somebody who recognized me, and that happens from time to time on the military base. Matter of fact, we were at the hospital. Actually, there's two people. And this one guy, he's like, "Hey, you that guy on YouTube." And I was like, "Oh." And it's like, "Oh, what are," it was like, "Uh-oh." Real great guy. We didn't have a lot of time to talk or anything, but it was kind of cool. We had a quick, cool discussion. He's like, "Keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome." So yeah, that was kind of fun. And now I think what we'll end up doing is we'll do a silver breastplate on him. And now that we got this, and we can also do the chains in silver. We can do like the breastplate. And then we'll do something with that little face that's in there. We'll do that with a different color. I'm thinking like a bright neon green or something. And I need a paper towel, or I want a paper towel. Do I have paper towels? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, let's see. Fairtha says, okay. I have a little Roomba too. Her name is Maxine. Cleans up after me. She's awesome. Yeah. They used to be like, but now we've got one. I can't remember what company makes it. It's a Korean one, like LG or something like that. But it'll go around, it'll sweep, and it'll go back, and then it'll mop, and it does way better job than our previous one, which I can't remember the name of. So, really enjoying that. Okay. Let's see what we want to do. I think we can head to some silver. We'll do a wee bit of silver. Just get some of this gold residue off of there. Good enough for government work. And we're going to do a metallic silver. And you know what? We might end up doing a bronze, because we'll do the silver. How about we try a bronze? We haven't tried bronze yet. So Talos bronze. That's an interesting little color. So yeah, kind of interesting. These speed paints, I'm really liking these. Because with the zenithal process that you do, dry brushing or using an airbrush to kind of get the highlights, and then leaving the underside with the black for the underside, the shadow part, it is really turning out nice. And it just covers so well, and you can get a lot of detail in there. I'm just in some shading. Okay, come on, give me some paint. Give Daddy some. And now, let's see if we can do this little bit here with that bronze. And again, I probably don't need to do the underside, but I know, ooh, yeah. And then I think with that, oh, good choice, outstanding. And I love the way that just wicks in there. And we're gonna get a little bit in there. down. And I think what I'll do with that center is we'll just kind of put in a little bit of, I think I want to try to get like a green in there. But this has turned out pretty good. That is coming out to be a good color. I'm trying to get my X, Y, and Z coordinates so that way y'all can see. And so I can see to see if this is going to be a good setup. And I'm thinking about getting a 4K camera so we can check out, I think that's it right there. But that's going to turn out really good. And I think that little face on his chest, on the chest piece, is going to, we'll do that in like a high vis green or something like that. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it right there. So, I think that'll come out really nice. Put a pop on a green because he is supposed to be a wood elf. And what do we got? This is the bronze. What else could we do that's bronze? He's got a little hook on the back. Let's do that in bronze. And then we'll do the chain in silver. So we'll get a little bit of contrast on that. So on the back here, he's got this tiny little hook. It's like a grappling hook. And if I can steady myself, and I think that is going to be it. Maybe just a tad bit more. I think we're good. No, maybe not. Maybe a little bit more. So we got that on there. He's got a lot of chains. And I think what we'll end up doing is we'll do some green boots with some brown or some green shin guards, and then we'll kind of do that with some brown boots, and then up above we'll probably do the green as well, and then we can do these flowing parts of this cloth or whatever these are in green, so that'll kind of tie it in together, and then we can come back and then we can go on like where these ridges are and we can hit like silver. Ooh, silver and green, that would look really good. Oh, we got another hook. Got another little hook. Why does he have two grappling hooks? I'm not sure. But whatever the reason is, it's probably a good reason. So, yeah, let's see. What else do we want to do? Let's do the silver. Since we already have the silver in queue. And that goes there. Keep that from blowing around. I think we're good. I'll do the silver. These miniatures are really nice. Ferrithus says he's jealous. No problem. Painting. 3D printing, you do good. Painting, not so good. I tell you, I'm really surprised on how well these things work. These 2.0. If I had known this from the beginning, I wouldn't have got the regular paint set. But then again, if I didn't get the regular paint set, I don't know. I wouldn't have so much attention to detail. So it's kind of, I guess it's one or another. It, you know, this is a nice thing, and you got to try it. Okay, silver. Let's do the silver. We'll do the little chains here first, because those are kind of easy to do. Like I said, these things just kind of suck up the paint, which is nice. And then there's the back chain. Seriously, whoever made this was like, yeah, let's put the dude's ear so his ear goes back and gets so close to the chain that it'll make it interesting for people that are painting. And we got another little piece I got to do there. Tiny little bit in there. So we got some chains going on. Good, good. And the only thing is the expense of this. These are expensive. I mean, I'm not going to put it past you. I'll just do the whole thing. And then we'll come back and we'll hit it up with the, get some highlighting on there of some type to really bring that into the mix. How much are the paints? I don't know. Forgot. I'm just kind of looks cool. 50's good. 50 paints, whatever. And then price, I bought it. You'd have to look it up on Amazon. I can't recall it right off the top of my head. Which my wife is like, she hates that when I do that. How much did you spend for that? I don't know. I bought it. Doesn't really matter what I paid. I mean, we have money. It's not like I'm spending money I don't have. So, but she'll remember the numbers like big time. She'll be like, oh, I remember when we bought our first big screen TV. It was $1,700 or $2,700 and 32 cents. It was like, that was back in 1990 something, and it's just like, holy crow. She knows all of that stuff. Excuse me. Bottles, I do feel the bottles go a long way though. Yeah, and for me, it's kind of interesting because I bet you I want to do the green first and then come back and do the silver on that. We still got some silver. We can do some silver on the back. But yeah, they do go a long way. I'm really digging it. And when I got into painting, I was like, I would use way too much paint. So I'd put paint on the palette, and how you do some of these chains. I would put paint on the palette and put way too much. So, but as I've gotten better over time, or at least done this more, I don't waste as much paint. So, yeah, they can go a long way. But I know I'm going to be faced with the question, in green, why don't we do silver down the back of that? Kind of like the spine on the back. Right along in there. I can see the Mega paints it with, Mega paints for $250 on their website or so, about $5 a paint. Not bad. Go to Amazon. There's no way I paid that much. Definitely go to Amazon. That's where I got it from, and I am not sure. I think I can do this stuff and get some silver action. Now you got me wondering, because the wife is going to see the bill. She's like, what? But I already told her I was going to buy it. I'm like your wife, money though. Spreadsheets are the friend. And she'll track that stuff. Man, she will track that stuff. I'm the high maintenance person in the family. My wife, matter of fact, we have like an 80-inch TV. She's got her own little laptop thing going, and she will watch videos on her phone. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we have this gigantic TV, and then she's got like a 15 or 17-inch laptop, Mac laptop, and then she doesn't even watch it full screen. She'll watch like the very small videos on the YouTube or whatever, and then she'll sit on her phone, which is even smaller pictures, and watch YouTube or whatever she ends up watching. And it's like, we have all these cool things. You can watch your soccer games in 80-inch TV or 75-inch or whatever it is, some huge ass TV, and then you end up just watching it all on your phone. Oh, I missed some silver. So it's kind of funny. I kind of joke with her on that. She gets mad. Or not mad, aggravated. She's like, oh. So, okay, I think I got what I can do there. Did I get that? Yeah, I got that. So we'll go back and we'll do the little spine in silver on the back of the shin guards, or the lower legs. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll do the rest in like a green. So we'll just kind of do that. Run that like that. And do this side. On Amazon I see a set for $200. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I did spend a lot. And then I bought some other stuff too. Oh no. And I bought some stuff that didn't even come in yet. But that was on my Korean bank card. But I had enough money on there. So the Korean bank card is kind of like my allowance card. So that's all right. That, yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. Alrighty, let's on to the green. Let's find some forest green goodness. Everyone has their weakness for something, but yeah, I count every dollar. I have to support a retiree and want to retire as early as myself. Yeah, that, I totally get that. I totally get that. Let's see, what kind of green do we got that would be good for this? We want a green that will kind of like scream wood elf, so I'm thinking maybe orc skin on an elf. Or we have this green, shamrock green. That could be good. Or Gilly Dew, kind of a paled out green a little bit. You know what? Let's do the Gilly Dew on the lower stuff and the calves on the lower stuff, and then what we'll end up doing is we'll do the brighter green on kind of like these flowing cloth things that he's got going. I think that should look good. I forgot some chains on his top of his thigh. But that's okay. Let's see how this goes. Gilly Dew. Gilly gonna do good with this green. And we'll start off with the bottom here. Oh yeah, that's gonna come out good. And I probably should have put some more, just a little bit more zenithal on his inside here where it's dark, because that is pretty dark. But we do get kind of a good shade on there. So it is kind of covered up. But lesson learned. And I think this is where we're going to make our money, is on this part here, which maybe I should have added a little bit more, but ooh, that's coming out nice. Look at that. Look at that. I do love it though. DIY'd my kitchen with my dad, made my own countertops, tiling floors. Looks awesome, less than $9,000 for a kitchen remodel. I'll take it. Yeah, I remodeled homes too. And yeah, I love doing tiling. Did kitchens and countertops. I'd buy countertops. I didn't do my own. But I do cabinets, put in cabinets and all that stuff. And yeah, it's just so cool to be able to do that. Hit Home Depot, and everybody knew me at Home Depot. And we ended up, I used to do real estate investing and rehabbing properties. I rehabbed over 60 properties. Oh yeah, that green's looking stellar. That is awesome. So rehabbed over 60 properties, and then a few other properties of my own, buy the worst house on the block and do that. And that's how we banked a lot of money. Was by doing that. So that is definitely a thing. And learned a lot. That was after I got out of the military. I needed, family and I started to do, I started doing real estate investing first, buying the worst house on the block, and then rehabbing it. And then my stepdad and family saw what I was doing. They're like, whoa, this works? It's like, yeah. Oh yeah, every 2 years I'm gonna sell this bad boy and make tax-free profit and throw that into the mix. And then lo and behold, we got into that, and then that ended up crashing and burning because the family defrauded the company and left me holding the bag. So, but we were able to, we went through bankruptcy, we went through foreclosures, and all kinds of other stuff, and then we're able to fight our way back. Oh man, that green is just killer. Look at that. That is coming out great. Oh, and then do highlights in like gold. I think we'll do those highlights, do edge highlighting on these in the in gold. Ooh, that'll look nice. Sweetness. And I think this is the brightest green I got. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that little bit of, this is the brightest green, shamrock green. We'll save that for the little, thing on the chest plate there. So I think we're done with this Ghillie Dhu done green. Ghillie Dhu done green, man. Parenthesis says, ouch, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Unfortunately, money is where family stops for many people. Yeah, that was a doozy. It is what it is, But what can you do when people cook the books and, they don't play the way they should, and take quick, easy money versus a legacy of money? Do you imagine? We had a number of properties, and the whole thing was to hold, rent and hold, because we got them at such a good discount. And then we paid ourselves to fix them with basically kind of like a construction loan. Oh, I think this is going to turn out good. Basically like a construction loan. So we were able, and this was back before the real estate crash. So they would give loans to, oh wow, that turns out good. They were giving loans to anybody that could breathe. And so we got a number of properties. We paid ourselves to fix them up, refinance them, rent them out, made sure that we would be able to turn a profit on it. And then every month we would have enough money to not only pay the mortgage, make a little bit of money, then we would pay extra on the principal. And so eventually those properties in about 10 or 15 years would start paying off, which is an awesome plan. But they decided to take money and just spend it. Of course, they went on vacations and stuff, and it was like, how are you guys going on so many vacations? Let's see. Oh, we were going to do that dark green, weren't we? Orc skin? That's like the brightest green, or was it shamrock green? That's it. We were going to do the shamrock green for the chest piece, and then we're going to do it for these as well. But yeah, and it's unfortunate because they threw away a legacy that could have been passed down to their kids, their grandkids, the whole 9 yards. They could have been living on Easy Street for their later years, but they decided, no, let's defraud. and yeah, they ended up broke and poor. And then stepdad passed away. He died, and broke and penniless and whatever. And yeah, it just ended up, it was not a good thing. Ooh. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh, wow, that is going to be a good color. Oh, those colors are coming out great. Oh, that's going to be awesome. That color is going to be rocking. I think I need to change this view or back it off for the camera that I'm facing, because my head looks really big in that circle. So I think I need to back it off a little bit. Oh yeah, this is going to be nice. And the way this stuff flows. Hey, you see this guy? Cool. That looks good, huh?
Yeah. Looks good. Cool. I want some coffee peanuts and
Huh?
coffee peanut.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's my awesome wife. She is so awesome. Oh man, that is really looking good. She got me coffee peanuts. My little snackies as I'm painting. Oh wow. This color's turning out good. But wow. Yeah, that really sets that off, doesn't it? That looks really good. Really good. We gotta do the underside. Get everything. That is good. Wow, that is really going to be good. So I'm trying to see, and again, I'm thinking about getting a 4K camera, and See how that goes. So that way I can have a better view onto the model here. So Faritha says, haha, that was classic. Oh, he's in project mode. I'll make him something to snack on. I get home a lot when I'm tinkering. I get it a lot when I'm home tinkering. That's awesome. So this has really turned out nice. And I'm not really, wow, this is good. Let me go back to, oh, you know what? I can do some shamrock. We're not done yet. Because I've got the base down here. So the base is a combination of, we've got some skulls, we've got some weird little things going on here that we can paint with this high vis color. And we'll kind of draw that in. It looks like shamrock poop. And kind of, I don't know why I'd make it the same color, but maybe little pooping shamrocks or whatever. We got another one here. Also got, that looks like it's tied into a little skull. So I have to do some skull bone colors. I got paint coming off my paintbrush. I got a little bit there too. So we'll kind of do the same thing. We'll just kind of use little colors to kind of just draw up into this model. So we got green on the base, a little green on the guy. You got a little bit of green on the ground with some little green shamrock poop thing going on there. Then we'll do some bricks and stone. We'll do some dirt-ish type color. And then we'll end up doing the skulls. We'll do those later. A little bit of silver. We can go back to the silver because I missed some chains on his thighs. Ooh, that was a lot. Carefully, carefully. There we go. Yeah, that's turning out pretty good. That's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like this. What are you going to make the crystal he's standing on? I'm not sure because you got some cobblestones going. And the crystal, I don't know, we have those little shamrock poop things going on. We got that. And cobblestone, we'll probably do that with the stone bit and this. Oh, but I could make this like a blue. Oh, the big crystal, yeah. Ooh, ooh, what colors? We could do some blues, we could do some purple. Oh, purple could be good. Oh yeah. We got a couple of purples, Moody Mauve and Purple Swarm. And those colors that go well. We could always go, let's go with a Purple Swarm on this first. I think, let's see, Faritha says, if I can make a suggestion, either a dark blue or a black obsidian. Well, the black that I got isn't really a black. I mean, it's a grim black. And what you can see there, so it's not like a shiny, shiny black. The purple could be good, like whatever the purple, but then blue. We got like a dark blue. Oh yeah, we do, because it's kind of like the royal robe blue that we did on the other dude, the dude. Where's the dude? Where's the other dude? Oh, we put him on the shelf. So the guy that we did earlier is our little guy there. I don't know. I might do that. Maybe the blue. Blue would be good. So you got the royal blue. You got Beowulf blue, which is kind of a little bit darker. Purple. I really want to do purple, but we could do purple on some other stuff, I guess, on some of the other stones around it. So let's do blue. And I'm going to try the Royal Robe blue. Let's do that for that big crystal on the bottom. And then we could do some spots of purple in there, since we're going to kind of go that route. And I'm losing out on my power on my tablet. Oh no. What can I do? Well, I've got power. I've got that. That's not the power switch. This. Let's see if we can avert the crisis. Question is, do I have any power in this? Yes, I do. So, we'll just kind of do this around here. And we'll plug this in. And it's charging. Okay. So let's go ahead and go with the royal blue. So we stand on royal blue, and then we'll do some purple, because I want to do purple. I want to do purple. That's all there is to it. Purple, purple. But the blue I think will look good. I think purple would be better, but we're going to go with blue. We're going to trust the Ferrithus. And we will see how this works. Okay. And it's already going to have some dimension to it. Ooh. Because of the what we did with the Zenithal and how we kind of got dark on the bottom. And let's just go ahead. See how that comes out. It comes out pretty good. And then we could always go through and we could do some edge highlighting on that. I think we could do another coat, but that looks good. Not bad, not bad. How does that look? Purple and gold always go good together. Favorite color? I don't know. I don't know about that. Looks really nice with those white edging highlights where the light catches it would make it pop. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll do some edge highlighting on the front here, I think. I think that's a good one. And then, of course, edge highlighting, you could put some on these shamrock green over here, and then you could even do some on the sword. You could throw in a little bit of white. I think we'll do some gold on that to set that off as well. And yeah, that has turned out pretty good. So, time for purple. The blue looks good, but purple and gold. Something biblical about purple and gold. I read that somewhere. So purple, we end up having Moon Lake Coral, and then we got some really dark purple, a Moody Mauve, and let's see what would look good. And then we got another purple as well. Ferris has got the question, are these resin printed? Yes, they are, resin. And I think this is Jamhe water washable resin. So this turned out, it's got a little bit of beef to it, so it is a bit breakable. It's not as strong as like ESUN PLA Pro or anything like that. Let's see, what should we go? I think we'll put that one, wherever that one goes. Now we got these two. Maybe the darker would be good. Let's see, it looks really nice, white edging, resin printed miniatures. The dark purple with lighter purple as highlights would probably look pretty cool. Yeah, yep. I think you're absolutely right. So we could use this one, the Moody Mauve, and then we could come back with this lighter purple and we could do the edge highlighting. And we'll just do those on some of these rocks because I want to get the purple in there. Resin printers are amazing. Yes, they are. And matter of fact, I just ordered one more bottle of ESUN PLA Pro for my Saturn III Ultra, and maybe we'll do some. Oh, I found a model. I found the Doomslayer model in resin printing. It looks hot. It is incredible. That is going to be awesome. So I'm going to be sidetracked on some other stuff. But I can do that, and that it looks way cool. Some people have already done, or have done, paintings of those. Incredible work. So let's just kind of get this in there. We're not going to go too crazy. Just kind of hit this, hit it and quit it. Kind of get the base. You can get it down a little bit in there. So I think that'll, oh, that looks good. I like that already. And then we'll need to come back to that and do the rest of the base, which will be interesting. Do a little line there. So kind of the earthy, a little bit much. You see how that just kind of pours into everything. And again, yeah, this just kind of reminds me of a wash. And that was a lot to put on there. But I can kind of think it'll turn out nice. Reinforce some of that in there. So I think that'll turn out good. Really nice. I'm thinking of getting a resin printer for work. They can print since during resin. It's covered up saying something. It turns to ceramic, perfect for something vacuum parts that you need. Wow. Yeah. And the cool thing was about resin printing, my teeth are resin printed. Some of my teeth are, which is kind of wild if you think about it. So I had some rough dental work when I was in the Army that I should have had better work done. And with that, yeah, should have got more work. So shoddy work. It ends up I come to Korea. I knew I had to get my teeth fixed, and I got implants in like 5 or 6 crowns and stuff like that. But the implants in the teeth that I got are 3D printed. So custom ordered, made to, it's not like going to Walmart and buying, a set of dentures or whatever. Yeah, they actually do scans of the teeth. They take 3D scans of the old teeth, and then of course they took those out, and then they drill into the jaw. They do the implant, the female portion that drills into your jawbone, and then they put a temporary in there that's smaller, but at least it's something there. And then it took. I think it took them about a week, but I had to wait a few more weeks for the implant to really heal or set into the bone, and then they made up the real teeth out of resin printing, and they actually had the resin printers there. So yeah, it was kind of a cool thing to actually see teeth being made, and incredible work. So, and I got a dirt cheap deal. My insurance wouldn't pay for it because they considered it cosmetic, but it was $5,300 for 4 implants, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and then I ended up like the 5 or 6 crowns and stuff like that. I think he did a couple cavities for free. Threw in there $5,300. That was the price. So yeah, amazing. Okay, let's get down to the stone. We got a couple of options. Burnt moss? No, I don't think so. We got ashen stone. Or I could do something a little bit darker, like a cultist cloak. Veritha says, I had 1 crown, I think it was 3D printed. 3D scanned in my mouth, fits perfect. Yeah, I mean, amazing. Grim black, I think that's too dark. Let's go ahead with the occultist. We could do that. And that'll be kind of dark. But then again, we're going to come back and we're going to do we're especially going to do the skulls. So I think that will come out. That'll have some good contrast there. And then we'll throw in some other colors or something, maybe a wash to kind of bring that all together. But yeah, I was pretty amazed at the dental work. The best dental work I have ever got in my entire life has been here in Korea. And I think he went to Harvard Dental School or whatever. Implants should not be rated as cosmetic. Yeah, they prevent decay, leads to lots of other problems long term. Yeah, it's true. But had to pay out of pocket, but I gladly paid. That was definitely well worth it. Because heck, back in the States, to get 1 implant was like $2,500. So, yeah. And let's see, how's this going to turn out? Yeah, that's going to be dark. but it will give us kind of the stone that we're looking for. And we can do kind of a wash. There's something there. I think I'll paint that in bone as well. Oh yeah, I think that'll come out good. And any other little cracks and crevices that we don't get, we could throw in some brown in there, like some dirt, and then you could do the old little foam guy, do some de-stress or distressing work, distress. So I paid $5,000 for LASIK, was the best quality of life improvement ever. I did that too. It was great, but I'm still wearing glasses now because you still get old. And it was like, I got to give up the ghost. But, with the advancements that they have, pretty soon, they're just going to be able to, you're going to be able to go in and you can get your eyes fixed, and I think we'll save that for the brown. And get like bionic eyes. That'll be a thing. So I'm kind of holding it out for the bionic eye bit thing. Oh yeah, we can do this. But yeah, that was good. It was just pretty amazing getting that done, because you go down and come back up, it's over a few minutes, and boom, you can see. I was like, whoa, that was amazing. I can't remember the price I paid though, but it was significant. But it was well worth it for the time that I had it. Like I said, I'm almost 60, 59, almost 59. Give me a month or two. Couple of months. Darken up those there, because that's kind of beneath that big crystal. And just fix mine. Eyes are now superhuman. I have 20/15 vision in both eyes. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Dude is like bionic man. Yeah, it was really cool getting that done, and I was pretty impressed with it. That's for sure. It was definitely huge quality of life improvement. So I was happy with it. But I'm just kind of waiting. In a few more years, they'll do something else, and then I'll be able to get like a permanent fix. I keep staying abreast of all the health news, and because I guess that's what you do is when you're old now. And let's see how that goes. It's a little dark. We'll throw some brown in there to kind of tie in the top to the bottom, and I think we'll be good. But yeah, I'm all about fix it, make it better, let's do it. Was kind of weird because I thought, I'm losing my teeth, I'm getting old. And then it's like, as soon as I got the replacements, I could tell that they weren't my real teeth by the feel, but eventually, now I don't even notice. So, let's see. Ferris said, I had such bad astigmatism. I did too, that I was practically blind without glasses. My parents also got, for older people, when they do one eye, something for one eye for reading, or one eye for whatever, yeah, that'd be a little rough. My astigmatism, it wasn't so bad. I mean, it got to the place where I couldn't wear contacts, but eventually as contacts got better, I could wear contacts, but I just didn't like wearing contacts. Some brown. Let's do a darker brown, like a satchel brown. How's that sound? I think that sounds good. But now I've got bifocals. Go figure. So we got that, which isn't too bad. It works. Let's just throw some of this brown in here. Oh, that's going to turn out good too. We can do some little stuff around the edge, around the outside, around the outside. You know Eminem, you know what I'm talking about. This is turning out good. And I think when we get that skeleton bone in here, that'll look really nice too. You know what would really make this pop is getting some tufts of grass in here, and I've got some. So we can throw that onto the base as well. I think that'll turn out really good. And this is dark. Maybe I should have used that fire drake. It would be a little bit more subdued. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Threw maybe some clear gloss on the crystals. Yeah, that would look really good. Or, you know what you could do on the crystals, we could put some UV resin and cure that, and so it's real shiny. And then, yeah, then clear coat on top of that. That could work out well too. I've been wanting to try that. And actually, I can't remember who I saw it from. Somebody was doing an alien dude, and on the dome of the alien, what he ended up doing was putting resin on the dome and then curing it, and it ended up having like a clear coat type of thing going on, and that turned out really good. So that came out really good on what he ended up doing. I'm not going to get too crazy with all this. Just crazy enough. And we still got a little bit in there that we can do some little stippling. And maybe we could probably end up doing a wash. And we could even do some edge highlighting. I'm just going to run this through like the cracks and try to give this a little bit of shadow depth and bring that brown into those pieces there, so you get some little separation going. Gotta keep them separated. So that's not bad. Then we'll do black around the bottom. Yeah, that shiny on the blue would look really good. And I got some high gloss right up there. So we could do that too. That would look wunderbar. Easy, easy. But now, we got the choice of what we can end up doing. We can do some skeleton bone for the skulls at the base, and then we can move up to the top. We could do the hair and the skin, because we need to do hair and skin, and then we can do little silver or gold highlights on the ridges on the boot, which I think would work out well. That would give some more detail, of course. So let's do the bone. Bony matter. So we got bony matter, but then we also have on the regular army paint mummy robe. So we got a couple of different options, but I think we'll just do the speed paint. But I do like the mummy bone and skeleton bone. Skeleton bone I actually like better. That's the one I was talking about. And then put a little bit of wash on the skeleton bone. Ooh, looks good. But let's just do, we'll try this, because we're just going to do speed paints. We'll just limit it to speed paints. And here we go. It's all right. Gives it a little color. It's not like paint. The skeleton bone, it definitely covers it, and you're like, oh yeah. I think we can get that on there. We'll just do that, whatever that is, and some skeleton bone, or whatever this color is. Kind of meets it down a little bit. Not bad. Now the question is, how will it look on the big skeletons? Not bad. Not bad for... let's see, we got a bunch on here. But that comes out pretty good. Not bad. Try to get more in the recesses there. Not too bad. It turned out pretty good. I don't know, is that where... Again, I need a laser pointer. Didn't turn out too bad. Not bad. It's enough color to say, yeah. And I got a little bit of piece I need to do there. We got a good mix of colors. So yeah, this is gonna have some good colors on it, I think. But now for the hair of the elf, we can do black. We got to do skin, and then we'll color with a darker color for the hair. So if we make little tiny mistakes, the darker color for the hair will kind of mess up any stuff that I do. So now, what do we have for skin? We have like Goddess Glow, Warrior Skin, maybe. We also have Peachy Flesh. And then we have kind of a pink aged hide. Let's go for Peachy Flesh. Let's see how that goes. That could turn out good. So, onto the skin. On to the skin with the peachy flesh. So we're going to start out on the underside and see how that looks. Okay. Got a little bit onto the gold, but not too bad. It is peachy-ish. And we'll get this other arm. Not too bad, not too shabby. And we got little spots where we got to do his hand. These are going to be a little darker, but not bad. Not bad at all. I'm trying to get the underside. My hands are shaking. And carefully. Not bad. Peachy Flesh, not bad. Not bad. I'm a fan. And now for the face. There's not much I can do with that besides just dab that on. Which apparently that is good enough. We got some ears. Bit of dab on his hair, but not bad. Not bad at all. Now the question is, what do we do with his hair? Let's see how this looks in the... I want to see if this comes in clear with the camera. if this is like the auto zoom is doing okay. And it's just coming up here, so yeah, auto zoom's not too bad. Yeah. That turned out pretty good. I think you're right about that, the high gloss on the stone, on the crystal down below. I think that'll turn out really, really good. And the skin tone turned out well. Question on the hair. What do we do for the hair? And since we're waiting for the hair, see if we can do just a little bit more. Since we got a little bit left on the brush, try to get that a little bit more on there. That looks good. So the question on the hair, what color should we do for the hair? We could do something, we could do black. That could be good. We could do brown, black, brown, or we could do something really crazy like a yellow. But I think that wouldn't work. That would kind of get lost in the hair or in the gold that's already around his head. So maybe the dark would be the way to go with that grim black. I think that would go on the recesses pretty good. I feel the hair should be something pale, cool, off-white or so. That's true. But I want some contrast in there as well. For cool off-white, we got speed paint medium. We don't really got, that's that ashen stone. We already know how that's going to look. Really, there's not a lot for that. Interesting. Almost like it is right now, maybe a bit bluer. The hair is almost good the way it is now, honestly. It would just be nice to do a little bit of a faint wash on there. But what could we do? Yeah, because I think this will be too dark. Grim dark will be too dark. But I like the idea of the blue to tie that in to the base. We've got a battleship gray. That's got a little bit of blue in it. I don't know. It says you could always take blue, thin it out, and make it very faint. But I kind of like that pale that you were talking about. For the hair, I almost want to leave the hair just the way it is, but I want to try to get a little bit of highlights in there. But then I kind of see what you're saying with the blue. If we just get it really, really faint. Tidal blue, that is really blue. We don't want that. That's why I'm thinking maybe this battleship gray or, no, magic blue. Let's try thinning out this magic blue and see how this goes. Trying to find out if this is where that's at, and that's kind of this is kind of the center of the screen. It's about right there. I think we're good. Magic blue. We could give the magic blue a try. Yeah. So that's about the center. Try to do the coordinates. Okay. It's about 320 by, I don't know, 230-ish, and that's what we end up getting. Let's try the magic blue. And with the magic blue, what we can end up doing is, like you said, we can thin that out, make it super, super diluted. And so we will probably only need, boom. And if you can see that, that is really blue. And the airbrush medium. Shake well, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what that, yeah, that blue is really a thick blue. So let's see what the airbrush medium does. So we'll just put a drop of this over here. Kind of move all this over, and then we'll take a little bit of the medium, take a little bit of the blue, just kind of draw this in. So I just get very minimal blue. We do that. I'll take a quick 5-minute shower. Okay. Go for it. So let's see, how's that gonna look? I think that could be good. Yep. That'll, yeah, I think that was the answer. Because we get a little bit of a blue in there. And we get a little bit of definition, a little bit of contrast. We'll do a little bit more blue on the back. That looks good. I think that works. That works good enough for government work. Not bad. So now that we know that that works, let's go ahead and we'll put that over there. First time of using the medium. Good there. And let's see what we got going next. Let's do a little, let's see if we can do a little bit of a, see if we can get the camera to focus on this so we can see what we got. So this is with the speed paint. And maybe we need to come over just a little bit. So yeah, I think that turned out good. And like I said, what we can end up doing is on his boots. What we could end up doing is taking that and putting the ridges of gold on there. So like a little gold pinstriping on those raised areas. And I think if like the recommendation of putting some gloss varnish on the stones so we get a get a sheen off of those, a gloss, so to speak. That's what gloss is. So things look shiny. Shiny object. We could do that, and let's go ahead and we'll do the gloss varnish on there. We're going to be using the Vallejo gloss varnish. It's usually for airbrushes, but to be honest, I've been using this on with paints as well. That's why it's kind of up here on the paint portion. So we'll do a few drops of that. I think that should turn out okay. And we should have, that should be dry enough. That's what I like about this, is that these dry really well. Oh yeah, that is gonna be money. Money, money, money. Get some gloss on there. Yeah. Oops, almost dropped him. Welcome to the Goody Room. Anybody know that movie? Welcome to the Goody Room. Yeah, that gloss varnish is going to come off nice. So, yeah, we'll just kind of put a thick coat on there, and we should be good. Nice. And then we'll do more on the stones around the bottom, the purple areas. So we can get a little bit of contrast between the dull colors that we have on there. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. Yeah, look at that. That's turned out great. Great. Good, good, good. Yes, yes, yes. Boom. Cleanup is good. I ordered some a little paint palette, and it's going to be about this size, I think. Maybe it'll be a little bit larger, but it's going to be made of silicone, so that could come in. I like the silicone because it cleans up really easy, so we'll see how that works out. So whether it works or not, it's only a few bucks. We'll see what happens. Okay, now we're going to go and we're going to do some detail work. And we'll hit those little bit of gold on his leggings as the details. I'll just throw some soap on this thing. I'll let this soak for a little bit. And we'll come back and wash that out. Kind of break down what little paints we have on there. And how'd the hair turn out? Hair turned out pretty good. So we did the blue. And so it's got a little hint of blue in there. I got a little mess up on his, got some peach in his hair, but I just felt too lazy to go back with white. But for the most part, I think it turned out well. We ended up putting the gloss on the crystals down at the base, so I might have to do a couple coats of those to get that really shiny. So we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't come out really shiny, then we'll go to the resin, and then we'll hit that with the UV resin. We'll cure that, and then we'll put some high gloss on it and see how that looks. So, because otherwise it might need a few coats of that gloss. I'm not sure. So we'll see how that goes. But now we're going to end up getting, this is going to be good. I think we're going to do some detailing with the gold on the ridges, right on the ridges here. So we'll just kind of do some edge highlighting with the gold, so we have the green and gold. But still, I mean, that's nice the way it is right there. But let's go for a little bit more. See what we can do. And this is going to be interesting. That gold just really, it's hard to really see. It almost like it blends in there too much. Fairtha says, I have 20 more minutes to go for the floating crystal, and then I can start the last piece overnight. Cool. I don't know if this is going to work out as well as I thought, because it ends up, it's just, I think that gold is so close to the color that we're using. We might have to go with silver and see how that looks. But like, that looks a little better. So. It's almost like it's an edge highlighting type of thing. Let's see if we can. Not too bad. I'm going against the grain on this, so not bad. Not too bad. This is where it's going to be interesting. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, that can work. That can work. So we draw that in a little bit more. I think we're good. I think that's going to turn out well. How does that look? Especially on the legs, where you got that gold in there. It's kind of hard to get that in there. It's so close to that color. Maybe if the leggings were shamrock gold or shamrock green, then that would really pop. But still some good details. We could probably go back and do like silver or something. That would look good too. But still, not bad. Not bad. I like it. So we got that. Oh, we can always do the gold on the sword. We got those little detail areas, which I'm going to need a real small brush to get those, because I think this is, yeah, I could do this. I would add some white highlights on the broken blue edges. Yep, I was thinking about doing that. Little edge highlighting is always good. I concur. So, let's see. Oh, that is way too much. Seriously? Yes, way too much. I think that's just what we'll have to do. We'll just kind of let that pool in there and just call it good. Even though no one's got to look at the bottom, I will do the bottom. Just throw that on there. I think that'll work. And with that, I think we can end up doing, since we don't really have like white, we might have to break our rule. The only problem with speed paints is that they don't have white. You think for the amount of money they would throw in an extra bottle of like regular white? I mean, the Air Paints puts in some white. Let's go ahead and we'll use that. And we can put a little bit of edge highlight on the sword, on the edges. Just some little sparkle stars or whatever. And then maybe on the crystal down below we could do a little bit there. Maybe on the shamrock green little things that he's got flowing behind him. And let's get our little, it's probably way too much, but it is what it is. And you know what, I'm going to mix this up with I don't know if it needs a little bit of water. Maybe just a tiny bit. Probably way too much than what I need, but to the edge highlighting. So let's see how this goes. We can do a little bit of right on there. Boy, that's, maybe I shouldn't have watered that down. I don't know. It's hard to see that. And there we go. We get a little bit on there. And we'll just kind of run this. It's weird. I'm trying to look at the. It turned out all right. A little bit of edging. Not bad. Maybe do some edging. Let me get this white out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Not bad. Yep, a little bit of edging. Edging is good. It's almost. It's like almost there. So that turned out good. So we got a little bit on there. And just get just a little. Does that not seem like it's okay? There it is. So we are getting a little bit on there. Let's see if we can do a little bit on his little kneecap. Do a little bit on that one. Yeah, super small details. And then, yeah, let's just do a couple little highlights on the gold, bit on the tips. So that'll come out nice. A little bit there, because that's a little dark on the back, so just do a little edging on there. highlight that little vent thing he's got on his back. Oh yeah, there we go. So that'll work. I get a little bit on the vent, but who cares? A little bit on. Just right on the tips. And then on his, a little bit on his ears. Just a little bit. I think that comes out good. Yep. Now on to the rock. 'Cause I think that's. You know what we could do is we could dry brush that instead of doing edge highlighting, but then I don't want to have to redo the the varnish, so we'll just see if we can just do some. And that dries really quick with this small brush. This is kind of an odd little color. Let's just do a little bit down here. That's a lot. Yeah. It is what it is. Just edge highlight that all the way down if we can. Small brushes dry fast. I don't know if you can see that. I'm like holding this way too high for you all, and I. Well, it's just not. I don't want to get this too. I think that'll be close enough for government work. Got a few botched areas, but yeah, It's so-so. It looks alright. It's not too bad. Not bad. So yeah. And then maybe we'll do some little, since we're at it, we'll just do some quick highlighting on these edges here. Just to kind of get that going. Edge highlighting for the win. Yeah, that's working out well. Paint is drying. That's turning out pretty good. That is good. So yeah, nice. I think we're doing good there. I think we are good. The only thing we could end up doing is try to put some more varnish on there. And I think we will call this good. Oh, I'll need that for varnish. So we'll do some more varnish on the bluestone, and then I think we'll do the base, and do the base around. Do that in black, like regular black. Use some blue tack. And do I get a smaller one? No, I don't. I thought I had a smaller one. Put this on there like so. And we'll do some high gloss varnish. Might put some varnish, high gloss varnish on his swords as well. because I think that would look nice. So, well, I think that'll turn out okay. Let that soak. And we'll go back to, let's see, go back to our rough brush. We'll make this the varnish brush. And I'll do varnish on the stone again. Try to see if we can't make that a little bit shinier than what it is. Which would be nice. Maybe even some high gloss fingernail polish would work too. I don't know. We'll see how well this works. Put another coat on kind of the purpleness that we got going on there. I think that'll work. Oh, we forgot his boots. We got to do his boots too. But we're gonna let's try. I want to try to do his swords and see how that'll turn out. And just like the silver parts. Just kind of get the sheen on there. Oh yeah, I think that'll be good. And then we could even put on, we got to put on some blood on there. Because we got some good blood colors as well. So after this dries, that'll look really good on those. Put some blood spatter on the sword edge. I didn't do the underside too well with the silver, but nobody's gonna notice, except you, me, and anybody else who watches this video. So I think we're good. And the boots, we need to do boots. So the boots are next, because we forgot about the brown boots. And so for the brown boots, we'll need a little brush. We'll use this one. That has turned out really good. Kind of dark on the crotch area, but it is what it is. Glosses, I think it's going to turn out well. Let's do some deep boot brown action. So we'll go for satchel brown. This is going to be really dark. Maybe not that. Fire Drake? Noble Skin? Maybe? Occultist Cloak? I think we'll end up doing a brown because we got some brownish bronze like up here. You do the brown one there, and that'll kind of draw it into the base. Satchel brown. I think that's what we'll do. We can go light on this, I think, but that's going to be a small amount anyway. Because it's just on the bottom part of his boots. Too bad. I think we're almost done, folks. I almost think we are done. Oh, except for the base. The ring around the base. There. So with that, we'll pull out some Army Painter War Paint Matte Black. We'll go around the edge, and I think we will call it done. So, I think we just go ahead and use this. This is going to be a little thick, but I think it'll work out. And just a tad bit more. And I don't do a tad bit more. Do a bunch more. Okay. I think we are almost there. Not bad. We'll call that good. And then I think I've got some grass somewhere. So let's try that. The question is, what color of grass do we use? We got some green, we got some brown. Let's see how that turns out. So question is, the green work? The green will work because then that'll tie in with the green with him. That is prevalent with him. But then we could also put, I'm thinking green. But then this would tie in as well because it also works with the gold. I think I'll go with the green. Go green. Isn't that what everybody says? Go green. And where are my tweezers? I don't know where they are. Of course I don't know where my tweezers are. So we will put, I'll put one right there. So I think we'll do this one right there. Is that gonna come off? Yes it is. I don't even need that. Come on. Get on there. Yeah, that's gonna look good. I'll do one on this side as well. Do this little, this bigger one. I think we're good. I think we're good. There we go. This is now. Alright, prototype light is done. Last piece to mount on it on the post is printing now. I'm really curious. What are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, that's what we have. And what we'll end up doing, let's see if we can get the camera in here. Matter of fact, I know we could get the camera in here because I can move the camera. Let's see how that works. How's that going to work? Okay. Y'all might get seasick here for a little bit, so bear with me. Let's see how that turns out. So I'm not sure of the camera view. The thing it needs to do is focus though. Focus. There we go. That turned out good. Some good recommendations. If I can try to get this where I can hold it steady. Try to get them in frame. But again, like I said, the camera feed that I get ends up, it's like a minute late or whatever. So, yeah, I think that turned out good. Maybe what I end up doing is just kind of doing this. I'm trying to hold it from here. And then do the rotate. Yeah, that turned out pretty good. That turned out good. I like that. Yeah, that really just brought it in there. The grass did good. Just tied it in well. So yeah, a little edge highlighting on there. It really brought it in there. Alrighty. So there it is. We finished up our dude. And again, it would be nice to have if there wasn't so much lag between the video and what do we got going on. But definitely turned out good. I'm liking it. I'm digging it. So yeah, not bad. I'm gonna go back to the camera arm. And get that back in there. And let's see if we can get it like this. And see if that'll get a little bit of background. And maybe it'll focus more on the I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. But it turned out good, I think. I think it turned out well. I think we did a good job on this, folks. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer for one last parting shot. The swords and everything. I think it turned out well. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see. Rolando says, which company makes that particular wood elf? You know what? I'm not sure. Honestly, I want to say it was One Page Rules, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. That looks too nice. Maybe because I painted it up. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not sure. And I could look on the computer. Let me see if I can do that. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll change and we'll kind of transition over to the desk and I can take a look at that and maybe we can get some different looks through the other camera. So if you'll bear with me, we're going to move some stuff like Mr. Microphone. Oh, I got to move that camera too. Okay, y'all are going to get seasick here. They're getting all kinds of. It's like, oh, earthquake. There we go. That wasn't too painful. And we'll bring him over here. Turn that light off because we don't need that. Okay, wow, I am big. I don't need to be that big. Let's bring this down a notch, like there. And we'll see if we can find, let's take a little look-see at our final result here. And I don't know if this will work, but there he is. A little messy on some of the gold on his legs, but on camera focus. Some edge highlighting a little bit. Kind of rushed that a bit. Come on, mister. Come on, camera. There we go. But pretty good. I mean, that is not focus. Seriously. Of course, now it doesn't want to focus. Come on, focus. Seriously. The joys of live video. Maybe we could just go old school. Seriously? Really? We're not going to focus? You're not going to focus. There we go. That turned out pretty good, I think. Not bad for screwing around with some speed paints. So with that, let's see if we can find out where or what that model was. So if you bear with me, Ferretha says, turned out spectacular. Yeah, turned out good. I'm happy with it. If I used my super geek glasses, I think that would work out good. Rolando Ratas says, which company makes that particular wood elf? Let me take a look and let me see if I can find that out. Because I think I've got that in 3D printing stuff, resin printing, Saturn 3, print files, test print, auto, islands, lithophanes, resin settings, test calibration prints, maybe that was it. No, that wasn't it, because that was like Great Chief, blah blah blah, no. Imperial Fist, no. Let's try 3D printing files, resin printing files. Or maybe I don't. This is so long ago when I downloaded this stuff. Seriously. Hulk, Lord of the Rings, Mando, Grogu. One-page rules, maybe one-page rules? Dynasty Warrior. Let's open this up and see what we get. OPR test support prints. So, we'll see how that goes. But not bad, not bad. We will, it definitely turned out not bad. Let's see. Okay, we're waiting for Lychee Slicer to open up to see if this is part of the prints that I end up doing from one-page rules. And let's see. Rendering, rebuilding, hollowing, blah, blah, blah. And the one guy that I did is from one-page rules. That was if you watch an earlier video where I did the first speed painting test, I did the little dude with the wings. That is one-page rules. But the elf dude, where did the elf guy come from? Man, because that turned out, that was a test print. One page rules, Dynasty Warrior. No, that's not it. I don't know, I might not have it. I might not have it. Because that was so long ago. Let me look at the folders one last time. We'll see how it goes. Fairtha says, I sent you a picture of my prototype in an email. Let me do one last look here to see. Because this was a long time ago. You know what? I don't. Resin print test miniatures. Nope, it's not that one. Geometry resin testing. Silvery Knights. Test print minis, 40K. No, that's not it. Nebula, Dark Elves. Ooh, could be Dark Elves by Redmaker. I think we might be onto something. Let's try opening that. Let's take a look at the screen share. I'll show you what we got. Maybe. So we're taking a look at Lychee. Dark Elves by Redmaker. Keep your fingers crossed. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't tell me that's it. That can't be it. Oh, that's a stand. License, pose, agent. Pre-supported. Let's see what we get some of this. This sounds like it might be it. So we'll see what happens with this. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Lychee Slicer. No, that's not that. Let's go back to this. Now you got me wondering. Now you got me wondering, where is this? Where did it go to? But I want to say it's Redmaker. Dark Elves. Dark Elves by Redmakers. So let's see if we can find that. Dark ELBES by Redmakers. Here we can see if this is, sounds familiar. I think it could be it. I think we're onto something here. Let's go ahead and we'll do a screen share. Boom. So Redmakers, I'm pretty sure this could be it. Dark Elves, we're looking kind of the same. Let's go to the store. And let's see, Kill Squad, Shock Troop Vehicles, whatever. Let's see if we can get in a little bit closer. Kill Squad, Omniforge. Of course, if we do a search, we could probably put Dark Elves. And I want to say that could be it. Yep, I think that is, oh, we got the same crystal there, but these guys have, up there, look at there it is, that's it, Redmaker. Boom, there's your daddy. Who's your daddy? Who is your daddy? Yeah, there it is by Redmakers. So yeah, that is it, folks. So let's just do a little camera overlay here. Boom, new camera. And there I am. So yeah, there it is. Patience. Hope that paid off for you there, Rolando. There it is, the Red Makers, Kill Squad, Dark Elves. And I think this was at one time a free model. Because I know I didn't pay I know I didn't pay $14. So it must have been a free model. But there you can see, yeah, that looks pretty good. So the Dark Elves, all of those look pretty good, matter of fact. That looks really cool. So a lot of chains, a lot of stuff like that, some weaponry. So again, some modern with the flowing and all that. Actually, I'd pay $14 for that. Ooh, and the Hawk. Ooh, that could be really good. He's got the giant columns or crystal things. We made it a crystal. Ooh, yeah, look at that. I don't know, I might. But there it is. That's the one that we ended up doing. So yeah, Red Makers, Kill Squad, Dark Elves. That's what it ends up being. So yeah, there it is. So we answered the question. It took a while. Sorry for that. But yeah, Dark Elves, Kill Squad, that is what it is. And maybe I did get the entire squad. I think I did. I think I did. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I did. Wow. Gunner, Player, Heavy Gunner, Discipline, Crimson Duelist, Sky Splint Assassin. I don't know, we could see. But anyway, that's what it ends up. Cool. Red Makers. That is the way to go. And we'll see what pops up in the... Yeah, I guess I did pay for them. Wow. Interesting. So, yeah. Some good stuff there. So, interesting stuff. In case you're wondering what I'm looking at. You're kind of like, oh, what the hell is he doing? So that's part of it there. And yeah, same flowing robes and all that. Kind of the same type of character. So I guess I did pay for those. Well, what do you know? What are the odds? But this was so long ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Because I remember getting stuff, finding a lot of free files off a Colts 3D page, and then a bunch of free items from a bunch of different places. But now we're going to check out Therapist and see what he sent me. So we'll go on to that email. And he's doing a crystal light prototype. Holder will be black. The crystal frame will be made from transparent PLA, and the faucet laser cuts out of yellow acrylic. This is more of a proof of concept, so I used whatever I had around to print it out. Hey, do you mind if I share this and put this on here so people can see it, or no? It's totally up to you, man. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But yeah, that looks kind of cool. I like that. Kind of a, what was that thing, Jim Henson, Dark Crystal, the movie Dark Crystal. That kind of gives me that kind of Dark Crystal-ish vibe thing, but in a more modern way. So maybe it doesn't remind me of the Dark Crystal. Maybe Dark Crystal, I only remembered that because it had the word crystal. Yeah, probably that. But yeah, that looks kind of cool. Sure, go ahead. Okay, boom. Let's drag that into here. There it is, folks. Look at that. And we'll kind of see if we can kind of do a little bit of cropping action here. because I can do that. And there we have it. Gonna bring this down a little bit, and boom, there we have the crystal. Yep, sure, go ahead. Outhouse is in the wood, lots of fireflies, so that inspired me. And it's about 10 inches tall. So, oh, that's cool. I like that. That looks kind of cool. Nice, nice. And you could do, oh man, you could do different colors. You could do like blues. You could do red, green. You know, as far as like the lights and stuff like that, you could have, that could be pretty cool. Yeah, nice. I like that. That looks cool. Nice. Good job. A little proof of concept work going on here. It's kind of like me when I'm working on some stuff. And, ooh, I got another one. A guy who, fresh off the build plate, need to clean up supports. Oh, so this is that guy, another guy comes in and, or is this? Da, da, da. Yeah. Oh, this is yours. The Xenomorph. I'm like, oh, there's somebody else. No, it's actually another. It's the same guy that just did the crystal lamp. They did the Xenomorph. So, yeah, cool. Nice, nice. Xenomorph looks pretty good. You don't mind if I should put that on here, do you? Wow, that looks pretty clean for an FDM print. That is good. Wow. But yeah, say the word and I can pop up the Xenomorph that you printed up here. Going back to, it says I use solar lights from HD. They come with a charger and a solar panel, so I don't have to worry about any electronics. Cool. Yeah, that crystal thing looks pretty neat. And then here is the other thing that he's got going on that he printed out, which looks really clean. I just got to size this. So pardon me while I change my size. But that turned out really good. Nice. And that, folks, that is an FDM print. And what was the layer height that you ended up doing? What was it? 0.2 nozzle, and then the layer height was some crazy stuff. It ends up the support settings were a little tight, so I had to clean it up a bit, but the details came out really nice at a 0.2 millimeter nozzle, 34 hours of print time. Wow, look at that. That is clean. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the email page, and that is crazy. Let's see if we can do a quick screen share. Boom. I mean, look at how clean that is. I could see why you would want to do a wash on that. The wash would really good. Variable layer height between 0.06 and 0.1 millimeter. Wow. That is nice, bro. That looks really good. You nailed that. And yeah, I can see why you would want to do some washes with that, because that would, getting into those recesses, I think that could work out. That would look good. And then like, yeah, if you put some resin on his dome and then cure that, UV cured, or high gloss or high gloss nail polish to do the top of his head to get that really shiny. And then of course the teeth. Man, that turned out nice. Nice, good job. Wow. Wow. That is really nice. Let's see, what else do we got going I've got another Chinese company that wants me to do reviews on products. So that's nothing crazy. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, I want to do your thumbnails. I can make great thumbnails for your channel. Okay, whatever. Market research. No, we don't need that. Some other guy. Another Chinese company. Custom manufacturing, race and event preparation. We're supplying event organizers with a bunch of custom stuff. Okay, yeah, we don't need to look at that. Boring stuff. Boring. So yeah, there it is. What we ended up doing is, let's see if we can get this going. What we ended up doing is the Dark Elf from Red Makers, and we did our own little thing. We did our own little spin to make him not so dark. And why is it not focusing? I bet you if I do it with this hand, it'd focus. Isn't that weird? So we kind of did a thing there, and that turned out kind of good. So, and everything's backwards, but yeah, that turned out not bad. I think that worked out really good. So. Yeah, if you're wondering where the models came from, Red Makers on myminifactory.com. You can find them there. Apparently, I did buy those a long time ago. Going back to Ferrithus, and he says, a dark wash with the green shimmer through, some gloss for the top for that wet look. That would look really cool, definitely. Have 2 weeks to finish it. You're golden. That should be no problem. It says, okay, but now I'm headed to bed now. Early start in the morning. Great paint job. Learned a lot. Have a great evening. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Stopping by. It's always good to see you, hear you, see what you're doing, and the good advice that you've given me. So sleep well and pleasant dreams. For those of the rest of you, you're probably wondering, how come I'm saying goodnight to him? I'm in Korea. So, yeah, that's kind of why I have time difference. So here in Korea, it is 4:22 in the afternoon on Friday. So, yeah, the weekend's here, and that's what we got going on. So, yeah, had some good time with the, definitely with the speed paints. Those seem to work out really well. And if you're brand new and you're kind of hesitant about trying to learn how to paint, I would say Speed Paint 2.0 is probably pretty damn easy. If you have any hesitation about learning how to paint, but you still want to paint, go for the speed paints. It turned out really, really good. It's awesome. So, yeah, I should have got those to begin with, but I didn't. But you know the saying, good things come to those who wait. And you got to pay money. So good things come to those who wait and pay the money. So that's what we got going on. So anyway, we're going to close this video out. So we're going to go to the next page, which is this one right here, the outro. Boom, there it is. And we got the wrong camera, so we're going to come back to this camera. The joys of live streaming. So anyway, that's what we end up doing. Had a great time with the Speed Paint 2.0 from Army Painter. They work out pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with them so far. Really like it. And if I sat down and took my time with it, I could definitely get a lot better results. And again, another tool in the toolbox, if you don't want to go and try to get a bunch of shading in there by doing dark color, a lighter color, and then a lighter color on top of that, then another lighter color, and then edge highlighting, you can just do the speed paints, go into it with the zenithal highlighting that you do, or dry brushing, you can get that texturing in there without having to use 3 or 4 different paints. then you could just do, boom, the speed paint, and then you could just go straight into your highlighting or edge highlighting, and you've got a pretty cool model that you can get with that. And that's what we ended up doing with this little guy here. So yeah, definitely going to be posting more and doing more on that. So many things I like to do. With that being said, email address, if you want to say hi or anything, contact me there. I always answer my emails, which is pretty cool. Want to buy me coffee? Boom. You can do that. Awesome people down here on the scrolling ticker. These are all the people that bought me coffee. But if you don't, I totally get it. The best thing that you could do for me is like and subscribe to the channel. So like the video if you liked anything at all. Even if you didn't like it because you didn't like it, if that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Again, I'm Steve, the retired hobby tech guy, the American expat living in Korea, doing 3D printing stuff, resin printing, FDM printing, miniature painting. I've learned how to do that in the last couple of years, and I am enjoying it. Some of the future things that we're going to be doing is, Lord willing, is a cosplay set from Doom Slayer Eternal, or Doom Eternal Slayer, whatever that dude is. Dude looks massively awesome. So we printed out a helmet on him. Matter of fact, and this was the first helmet, and we did just a little bit of a proof of concept for the shield or the visor that we ended up having there, and that just is like window tint that you can put on your windows, and we did that, and so we just kind of put that in there, and boom, we're good. So we're waiting for some materials to come in to get all the ley lines out on this, and then we'll do some painting and get this, and hopefully after that's done, Galactic Armory will come out with their Armor Smith type program, and then I can get to scale the armor, and we'll start printing that stuff out. That'll take a little while, so it'll be a bit, but that's kind of what we got on the horizon. I love it. I love this hobby stuff. It's good. Besides going to the gym, I really love this hobby stuff, and I like sharing all the information. And if you've got any information to make me a better hobbyist, painter, printer type person or expat, shoot me an email. I would really like to get that. So we're going to go ahead and let this go and say adieu. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Again, remember to like the video. That would be the best thing that you could do for me, and much thanks for that. So we're going to close this out, and we will see you all on the next video. All right? Promise you, we'll see you. Got to tune in. Peace. Good stuff. I like that.